to JSA TV, your virtual newsroom for telecom professionals. Joining us here today, we're honored to have Mr. Daniel Tanel. He is the Chief Technology Officer of BCS Global. Dan, welcome to JSA TV.
Thank you, Jamie.
So tell us, what is visual collaboration and why is it so important to enterprises?
From a BCS perspective, it's all about the people. It's about allowing people to connect with each other, see each other independent of geography, which allows them to collaborate in a much more powerful and rich manner that they've ever done so in the past. It's about delivering this level of experience, that aha experience, every time people engage, every time people interact, each and every time. And if we think about and we look at things differently at BCS Global than maybe some others in the marketplace, but we're very much focused on understanding the principles of human communication. If we look at the statistics, 38% of the effectiveness and richness of our engagement is around the audio, the sounds, the tones. 7% is around the content itself, and 55% is visual, the visual cues, the engagement level, the passion you can see in people as they engage. So these are the principles and the fundamentals. If we translate that into the actual technology that's available in the marketplace, pervasive in the marketplace, I should say, obviously the telephone, we all have access to it, we use it as part of our day-to-day lives, and again, there's the 38%. We have content, we have collaboration tools, we have chat, we have email, and people use emoticons to express their feelings. And they often do that because they don't have access to the visual side of things. They may be speaking with someone who's in a different building, a different city, in a different country, and they don't have access to a strong visual collaboration program. And BCS Global, with our virtual presence offering, is all intended to deliver an effective program to help customers feel that richness in their day-to-day communication in organizations. Have you ever had this feeling where you're communicating, you're just trying to get your point across, and it's like you're up against a brick wall? And we often see this, unfortunately, in the audio conferencing world, where people are multitasking. You ask a question, and they ask you to kind of repeat it. Unfortunately, they weren't paying attention, so the quality of the response isn't where it needs to be relative to the question that's being asked. A very, very frustrating experience. And again, because we don't have that visual aspect, we don't know how engaged others are. Share an example with you. Here's a technology, here's a blueprint, and if you're having a conversation with someone and you ask the question, hey, I've sent you the file, have you received it, have you had a chance to look at it, do you have any questions, are we good to go? And the response is, got it, yep, okay, and the conversation ends. And that happens. And if we think about, wow, if I saw their face and the face looked like this, and they answered that question the same way, you would likely extend that conversation and explore it a little bit further and make sure that they actually understood and that answer was maybe a little bit shorter and we needed to explore it further to make sure that the quality of the response was where it needed to be. Again, the power of visual communication. It's all about delivering the extra 55% and having a robust program like Virtual Presence that allows customers to take their utilization from a very low number to a much higher number and drive more effectiveness and more richness in people's engagement with each other. And all about delivering this engagement, this experience, every time that people are interacting with each other when they can't be across the table from each other.
So tell me, Dan, what do you see as the key benefits for businesses?
So at BCS, we strongly believe it's around enhancing the customer relationships. It's all about people and how we interact with each other and strengthen those relationships and the effectiveness of our communications with our internal peers, with our customers, with our partners, and with other organizations within our ecosystem. It's also about ensuring that we have a collaboration program in place to support the workplace, the evolution of the workplace, remote accessibility to folks that are distributed around the globe and getting access to that expertise in a timely manner. It's about enabling and driving some of the business benefits around faster decision making in our global competitive environment and helping organizations transform their business in whichever verticals they happen to play. And then obviously the green agenda is very high on the priority list, and this technology certainly helps play in that space and drive some significant benefits.
Sounds like a no-brainer. So why are businesses slow in adopting virtual collaboration? What do you see as the deployment challenges?
So that's a great question, Jamie. And as a global provider, BCS, we see the same issues again and again within organizations, which is a good thing, because we've been able to tailor a service offering to address a lot of those pain points. So let's look at some of the statistics first. Gartner says 90% of enterprise video conferencing capacity is unused. Wayne House says 85% of enterprises are using video less than 2 hours a month. I mean, those are very, very low numbers, and I think when the business cases were put forward, they certainly weren't justified based on these type of numbers. And it's all about the utilization, right? And if there's one thing that we look at as our measurement of success in our customers' eyes, it's about the utilization. They often join when they're less than 25%, a number of issues that they have, again, that are quite consistent with other organizations. And it's about driving a program, a successful program, to get them up into the 50%, the 75%, and higher in terms of utilizations. And what's interesting is there's different pain points, there's different challenges along the way. And that's very important in terms of making sure that we're staying close to the user community. Again, it's all about the people. And if we stay close to them and we're addressing issues along the way, then we can drive that successful program. Very much focused on the user experience. And there's three sort of pillars that we need to address. One, technology with high definition and MPLS networks and higher quality experience, if you will. We have a tick in the box as an industry, and it's BCS. Business process is very, very important in terms of, hey, do the users know how to use the service? Do they know how to get access to support? Do they know how to schedule? Do they all have access? Is it pervasive within the organization? And then obviously the people and culture is also very important in terms of the holistic view that we take in driving the right level of adoptions. The ingredients for success, there's core elements in terms of the infrastructure, the plumbing. But what's very important is all the bubbles around that, right? The expertise and support, making sure that people get access to support 7/24 across the globe. Business intelligence in terms of the metrics, ensuring that, hey, let's monitor and see how we're progressing, right, and set ourselves some achievable goals. And then certainly how the services are actually used in terms of endpoint monitoring, infrastructure monitoring, and management.
So tell me, how is your team at BCS Global helping to support those businesses as they accelerate video adoption usage?
I'll start with, in our DNA, our passion really is to help business change, right? And really introduce and evolve and accelerate the adoption of visual communication within your organization. And not as a nice to have, but as we need this to stay competitive in the global marketplace. We need this to collaborate with our customers and our peers in a much more effective manner. So we're all about enabling that. And I think from a capability point of view, we've been doing this for about 12 years now. We have capabilities around the globe with 3 VNOCs distributed in each of the regions. We have infrastructure for cloud-based services that is calibrated to deliver the highest level of performance and experience from a user community. Again, with the full intent to deliver that aha experience as people collaborate on a day-in, day-out basis. And again, it's all about what's our key metric of success, which is driving the right level of utilization within organizations. We also very much focus on the adoption program, right? Helping customers and engaging with them early on in the cycle, which is, hey, you've invested in this technology, let us help you assess what you have and provide some recommendations from a consulting perspective on some of the things that would help you achieve some of your goals. And then assisting in the design and deployment, and then optimizing and grow. Again, all focused around the user experience. And if we look at, to close off, some of the use cases, we're moving from a horizontal-based application, which means it fits within every organization, right? The power of visual communication, that extra 55%. If we look at financial services and retail, sort of corporate, engagements, we're seeing a trend over the last 12 to 18 months which is very, very exciting, around healthcare, right? Some very unique applications on leveraging visual communications for healthcare services in the justice system, tele-education, as well as from a hospitality perspective. Just some of the examples that we're starting to see some very interesting sort of new business models, if you will, being introduced into the marketplace.
Thank you, Dan, for those exciting statistics. Certainly, video usage adoption is accelerating at a rapid pace, and BCS Global is a leader in getting businesses on video and collaborating. And for our viewers who may wish to know more about BCS Global, you can get online and visit www.bcsglobal.com. Thank you, Dan, for your time joining us here, and thank you, viewers, for tuning in to JSA TV.